It is finally here. The book that got canceled time and time again, but it is now coming out this week. So join me for an advanced look at the Batwoman Omnibus from DC Comics. Stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. So that's right. This book is real. This book actually is coming out. This is the book that was in the catalog a couple of times and it had been canceled. This book has been available for pre-order for the last year and a half. It's crazy, but it is finally here. It's real. This is not the cover that they advertised was going to be there, but both Marvel and DC do that. And I know the Deathstroke one, people had issues with the Dave Johnson cover. I myself, that's okay. But this one, there's so much beautiful artwork from J.H. Williams that they could have used for the cover. I'm really surprised they went with this. My wife really liked it, though. She thought it was really dynamic. Her, kicking your face, I guess that's cool, but you'll see when I flip through these pages the amazing artwork that J.H. Williams provides for this series. So yes, here we have Batwoman Omnibus, the creators down here, all the people that are credited to be working in the book. There's others in there as well. So Price and Draco. Well, no, actually he didn't. He only finished one issue in here. Batwoman Omnibus. I do like the Bat logo there in the white space. It's reversed where her symbol is red. The Batwoman logo, and then of course the creators and the DC logo down there. And then this big fight here with the Killer Croc. The book retails for $99.99. Now, this has been previously collected before, so this is the deluxe edition, which is the same height, but this is the only book that came out in deluxe edition for Batwoman. So this is the Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams introduction, which is all in here. So of course, this has been collected in trade paperback during the New 52 era in these four, and what you're looking to get in this omnibus is collected in these collected editions. However, the story continues in these two trades by Marc Andreyko. As a matter of fact, I think this trade paperback has annual number 1 in there, and that's collected in here. So, let's look at this under the dust jacket. You have this image here of Batwoman, the spine, and then another dynamic image of Batwoman. Alright, let's get this book open, talk about just a little bit of the plot without going into the spoilers, who Batwoman is, and what her relations to Gotham and Bruce Wayne are. And of course, to fall in love with J.H. Williams III's artwork, if you're not familiar with it. He's one of my favorite comic book artists of all time, top 3 as a matter of fact, and a big reason for that is because of this book. So there we have Batwoman. Now here's all the credits here of all the people that wrote, inked, worked on the book, colored. There's the Rachel Maddow introduction, which is the same introduction that it was in the deluxe edition. So she wrote that for the deluxe edition, talking about her relations with the character of Catherine Kane. So this is a little synopsis of what happened previously. So this doesn't collect the 52 era of Batwoman, not the new 52, and I'll explain a little bit of the differences here because I know it gets confusing, especially when DC decided to use the same name. But let's talk about first what this does collect. So this does collect Detective Comics 854 to 863, Batwoman number 0, and then Batwoman New 52, 0 through 24 in annual number 1. So all of this takes place after the battle for the Cowl, and that's during the time when Batman, Bruce Wayne was taken out of commission. So we had all these people, Tim Drake, Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, all come in and try to take up the Cowl of Batman. So the Gotham City needed a new Batman. And one of them was, of course, this character known as Batwoman, who had been established in the 52 Maxi series. So the 52 original series was done by Grant Morrison, Jeff Johns, Greg Rucka, and a few other creators, writing a weekly series that kind of gapped that missing time between the end of Infinite Crisis and the beginning of 1 year later. And the character that was introduced in, I think it was issue number 7, was Catherine Kane. So they introduced her as Bruce Wayne's cousin. She had been overseas, and she had been training to become a vigilante and take on the role of Batman, because during that 1 year later, or in between Infinite Crisis and 1 year later, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman were kind of MIA for a while. They were taking a little vacation. And this all happens after that. During that era, there was a whole Crime Bible storyline. And if you want to read that, that omnibus is being reprinted next year, hopefully with better binding than the original binding. She also appeared in the pages of the prelude to the Final Crisis, which is called Countdown. So during one of those story arcs, she did get stabbed, and we thought she was dead, but she lived. And that's what this picks up immediately after that. So it's about this crime organization, this religious cult that's still around in Gotham City, and she's investigating. She has heard tell of its new madam that's coming in and taking over the leadership role, and they only know her as Alice. Now, Catherine Kane here, she is helped out by not a butler, but her father, who is part of the military. Both of them are military. And her dad, the way he accepted her life, is amazing. It's the type of dad that I want to be. He's completely fine with everything. Hey, Dad, I like girls. Cool, I love you. Hey, Dad, I want to be a vigilante and train. And he's like, cool, I love you. I'm going to take you overseas to train properly. I know some people that can train you better than here in the U.S. How awesome is that? That's so badass. I love their relationship between her and her father. And here is that J.H. Williams III artwork. Holy crap. Still awesome. I've read this story so many times, especially this right here. The Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams story through the pages of Detective Comics so many times. And this is the character of Alice, which is very similar to the character, of course, Alice in Wonderland. And she is just messing with Kate's head and trying to take over this religious cult / crime cult in Gotham City. So one of the things you're probably noticing right away is, holy crap, there's a lot of spread pages. There are, which makes the binding of this particular omnibus very important. And we'll come back to that in a little bit. And just to kind of give you more of a synopsis. I think I've given a synopsis of who she is. She's got military training. She's in the pages of the 52 era, she did have relations with Renee Montoya. And during this time, she is having relations with Maggie Sawyer. So maybe she has a thing with the Gotham Police Department. Now, this is a very interesting collection because this is much like the Grant Morrison collection of Batman. This takes place before and after Flashpoint. So during the crossover of Flashpoint, the DC universe was reignited, revamped. A lot of issues went back to #1. A lot of origins were redone, such as the case of Wonder Woman and Superman. And I've done my Batman reading order, and I mentioned in there that most of the characters weren't really that tweaked. They didn't change that much, with the exception of Tim Drake. And Batwoman being one of them, because she was such a new character to begin with. She was only introduced a few years prior to Flashpoint, that it was okay to, even if they wanted to retool anything. Now, the one missing thing in between the pre-era of Flashpoint and the New 52 is that Greg Rucka did decide to leave DC Comics. Not angrily, I think. He was trying to work out a deal with them. Oh, I forgot about... Sorry, I didn't know if that was a spoiler or not, but she does have a family in the Teen Titans, so this is Flamebird. And Flamebird kind of becomes her sidekick for a while. Now, where was I? Yeah, so Greg Rucka ended up leaving the title, which really sucked because a lot of us really got into the character of Catherine Kane because of J.H. Williams and Greg Rucka. But I was happy to find out that J.H. Williams was still going to be sticking with the character that he loved so much, that he co-created. So he was not only just drawing the titles of the New 52, but he was also going to be writing and co-plotting the story along with W. Hayden Blackman. So both of them ended up writing the character of Batwoman through the pages of 52, the New 52. See what I mean when it gets confusing? You have the pre-Flashpoint era, the post-Infinite Crisis era. Maybe I should do a video on how all of this fits in. But anyway, there's Flamebird. And this is the type of gorgeous artwork in here. Now, eventually, of course, J.H. Williams cannot draw every single issue because, as you can see, his art does take some time. So you have Trevor McCarthy step in, Amy Reeder step in as artist, Jock steps in as an artist to help out with the issues. And, of course, J.H. Williams III comes back from time to time. Now, unfortunately, oh my god, this art in here, when J.H. Williams comes back for this Wonder Woman arc, is freaking so awesome. The world's finest, this story arc right here. And again, this is the New 52 Wonder Woman with a new origin. Look at this maze. How awesome is... Damn. That deserves to be an oversized format. I had a point. Where the hell was I going before I got distracted by the artwork? Oh, yeah. Those of us that were reading Batwoman at the time, you know, the stories, of course, whenever you have a great chemistry between a writer and an artist like Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams, it's magic, right? You can't recapture that magic in a bottle. I mean, the New 52 was fun. Actually, the first few story arcs were okay. I think it got better and better as the story progressed. As they got into the 20s, I thought the story was really, really good. Sadly, Blackman and Williams wanted to do something with the character. And Dan Didio at the time, who was in charge of DC Comics, said, no, you can't do that. And I'm not going to spoil what it is because you can look up yourself. There's all this drama that was caused because of all that. So both Williams and Blackman ended up leaving the book. But everything that they did is collected through these pages, with the exception of the unpublished issue 25. So they had already drawn and written issue 25, and it never saw publication. I don't even know if they have original artwork for that. But it is definitely not in this omnibus. And here are the variants. So eventually it was Mark Andreyko that steps in and takes over the book. Here's the character designs. And then from script to finish artwork. I love this stuff. More character designs. Freaking stunning, man. He is a freaking master of this craft. It's not fair how good some of these artists are. And then your bios here in the back. Now, the important thing, like I mentioned, because of the way that the stories are written, there are lots of spread pages. So the binding on this book, this omnibus, has to be good. This is 888 pages. So let's take a look at this eye first. Not bad. We've seen a lot worse. And I've opened the book up once properly, and I've done a read-through of it cover to cover, because I love this story, once. So it could get better the more read-throughs, of course. But you need this book to almost be perfect because of double-page spreads like this. You don't want any of the artwork missing. It's very crucial to the story. So let's go towards the very beginning where we usually have issues. Not really a good one to show because the art is cut by the frames, but honestly, that's damn good the way it lays over. Let me see if I can find a better... Okay, so here's one where the art is together here in this double page spread. Not much gutter loss at all. Okay, so here's one. Because we all know what lips are supposed to look like. Very, very, very minimal gutter loss. I mean, you can hold it down and you're not really missing anything. Such as the case down here with the cape and the ears from the bat signal. But it's artwork like this that you're going to see throughout the book. And the fact that this is towards the very beginning, you know, that's really good. Because most of the time we have issues at the very beginning with gutter loss and the very back of the book. Now the middle, because of the inner spine not curving as much, we do have some gutter loss. Because of that inner spine not curving as much, the eye, it's not making a big eye, we do have a little bit of gutter loss here too. Not very much. And I know it doesn't bother some people, but some people that love his artwork, and the whole reason they're getting this is because of his art, really don't want to miss any bit of art. Because it's so gorgeous. And as far as the paper quality, let's go back towards the beginning. It's a little bit thicker than the deluxe edition. On the left-hand side, here's the deluxe edition. And by the way, this is the way that it lays over. So it was also not perfect, even for a book that didn't have 888 pages. There was still minimal gutter loss. Honestly, I think this is probably as good as you're going to get when it comes to pages like this, which is near perfect. But yeah, it's a little bit thicker than that. And so here's the way it lays over towards the very beginning and towards the back. So hopefully, long gone are the days where the books try to shut themselves. I guess we'll see with the new printing of the 52. But that, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this book, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They pride themselves on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Check out the bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. CGN is excited to announce that they are now taking pre-orders. They're making it easier for you to ensure that you don't miss out on the hottest releases. CGN is currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, let them know that you were referred by near mint condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. This promotion is valid for U.S. customers only. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount and quality shipping and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this omnibus. Let me know in the comments down below if you have the series in the deluxe edition and the trade paperbacks from the New 52, if you have the single issues, and you're upgrading to this omnibus, or if you're going in blind, never having read any of Batwoman or even know who she is. Let me know if you have any more questions. Leave those questions down below. And yes, I always like to remind people to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and ring that bell for notifications. All that helps with our YouTube algorithm and our channel keep growing. And more importantly, everyone, stay healthy, stay safe out there, and much love.